AI has been able to write code for you for 2 years now. But most people who actually tried it hit a wall, not because the AI wrote bad code, but because code was never the hard part. The hard part is everything that surrounds the code. The database where your app stores information, the login system, the server keeping everything running. Developers call this the plumbing. And it's the reason 90% of app ideas never get built, even by people who know how to code. Google just eliminated the plumbing. And if you're only paying attention to the headline features, you're missing what this update actually changes. Hey, I'm the digital character of Ed Hill. In this video, I'm walking you through the biggest updates Google just dropped for AI Studio, what they actually mean for you as someone who's not a developer, why this is different from every AI builds your app tool you've seen before, and what you can realistically start building today. Stay until the end. The last update is the one most people are misreading. And getting it right changes whether you should trust this platform or not. Before we get into the updates, here's something worth understanding. Every AI coding tool you've heard of, ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, Cursor, Bolt.new, is a code generator. It produces text that looks like code and hands it back to you. You still have to know where to put it, how to connect everything, and what to do when it breaks. For non-technical people, that handoff is where everything falls apart. AI Studio's new agent, called Anti-Gravity, that is a different category of thing. Instead of handing you code, it holds a complete model of your entire project in memory and acts directly on it. It writes, connects, fixes, and deploys across your whole code base at once. The difference is like asking someone to hand you bricks versus hiring a contractor who understands the entire building. That's the actual shift, not a better code generator, a different kind of tool entirely. Update 1, the Anti-Gravity Coding Agent. It started as a desktop app you download. Now that same tool is built directly into the Google AI Studio website. You don't need to download or install anything. You just open your browser and it's there. Here's what makes it work differently in practice. When you describe what you want to build, Anti-Gravity doesn't write a single file and wait. It holds the full structure of your project in context. When you ask for a change, it makes precise edits across multiple files simultaneously, not just the one in front of you. You're not managing the AI through every step. You're supervising an agent that manages the whole project. It supports multiple models now, including Gemini 3 Pro, Claude Sonnet, and Opus as well. So you're not locked into one model for every task. Google reports their own internal teams have used this to build hundreds of thousands of apps over the past several months. That's not a marketing number. That's internal adoption at scale, the most honest signal of confidence a company can give. Quick thing before we move on, everything I'm covering in this video, meaning how to actually turn these tools into something useful for your business, that's exactly what we break down inside AI Space. It's my community, link is in the description. Now back to it. Update 2. Firebase one-click backend. This is the update that actually solves the plumbing problem. Firebase is Google's platform for all the backend services a real app needs. A database, user authentication, and file storage. Normally, setting this up takes hours, even for experienced developers. Now the anti-gravity agent does all of it automatically. Here's the actual flow. You describe your app in plain language. The agent builds the front end. If it detects, on its own, based on what you described, that your app needs a database or a login system, it asks if you want to enable Firebase. You click one button. What happens when you click that button? It creates a Firebase project, provisions Cloud Firestore as your database, enables Firebase authentication with Google Sign-In, and connects all of it directly into your app's code. Enterprise-grade infrastructure. One click, no configuration. And if you want something different, users are reporting you can just tell the agent which one to use and it adapts. Firebase is the default, not the only path. Update 3, real-time multiplayer from a single prompt. Before I explain this feature, let me tell you what it actually represents. Real-time multiplayer, multiple people using the same app simultaneously, seeing each other's actions live, is one of the hardest categories of software to build. Not hard in the way it requires a few extra steps. Hard in the way that experienced senior developers actively avoid it. Startups raise entire funding rounds specifically to solve the engineering problems involved. Google just made it available in a text prompt. They demonstrated this by building a full first-person multiplayer laser tag game called Neon Arena entirely inside AI Studio. You can play it or remix it right now. They also built a shared 3D particle experience where every user's cursor spawns real-time 3D physics from a single prompt. This isn't just an impressive demo, it means a tier of technical difficulty that used to require years of expertise just became free. The gap between I have an idea and I built the thing used to require that expertise, it doesn't anymore. Update 4, Secrets Manager and auto-installed packages. The Secrets Manager lets you store API keys and credentials securely inside AI Studio. If your app needs to connect to an external service, Google Maps, AO and payment processor, anything, the agent uses those credentials to make real-life API calls, not a mock, not a demo. a real working app pulling real data. And NPM support means the agent now auto-installs modern web packages without you asking. Need smooth animations? It installs Framer Motion. Polished UI components? It pulls in Shadcan. 3D graphics? It grabs 3.js. You describe what you want the app to do, and the agent figures out what packages are needed and installs them. The full modern web tooling ecosystem without managing any of it yourself. Update 5. Next.js. Support and session persistence. AI Studio now supports 3 major frameworks out of the box. React, the previous default, Angular, and Next.js, added in February 2026. Next.js is the dominant framework for modern full-stack web development. So this matters for anyone building something production ready. Session persistence is the other half of this. Your project context is saved automatically. Close your browser, come back the next day. The agent picks up exactly where you left off. No re-explaining what you built. No starting over. Small thing that makes a massive practical difference when you're actually trying to finish something. Update 6. Firebase Studio is being sunsetted. This is the update most people are misreading. Let me give you a different frame. Google launched Firebase Studio in 2025 as a browser-based AI development environment. Less than a year later, they announced it's shutting down. Sunset date, March 22nd, 2027. New workspace creation stops June 22nd, 2026. After the sunset, all data is permanently deleted. The surface read, Google killed the product after less than a year. Bad signal. The actual read, when a company shuts something down fast, it means one of two things. The project failed, or it was absorbed into something more important. Firebase Studio wasn't failing. Google decided the vision was too central to leave it as a side project, so they moved it directly into the core product. When a company moves a bit closer to the center, that's not retreat, that's commitment. This is the most bullish signal in the entire update. It tells you Google is treating AI Studio as the main event, not an experiment. If you're currently on Firebase Studio, your migration path is Google AI Studio or the anti-gravity desktop app. Here's the bigger picture. Every major platform shift has an early window, a period where no playbook exists yet, and effort outpaces expertise. That window is open right now. The people who experiment over the next year will figure out what works before the experts arrive. By the time this is fully documented and polished, first mover advantage will be gone. Waiting for something to be mature is how people miss every platform shift. Google AI Studio is free to prototype on. It's live right now at aistudio.google.com/apps. Start with the simplest version of something you've been meaning to build. But here's what most people do next. They close this video, think, that was interesting, and go back to exactly what they were doing before. Nothing changes. And 6 months from now, they're watching another video about another tool they never used. The ones who actually get results do one thing differently. They have somewhere to go after the video. A place to ask, okay, I tried this, now what? A community of people working through the same things in real time. Not just watching, but building. That's AI space. It's where I share the exact workflows I use, the prompts that actually work, and the mistakes worth skipping. Over 100 people in there right now using these tools to build real things for their businesses. Not theory, not tutorials for their own sake. Actual systems that run. If this video made you want to start, not someday, but this week, AI space is the next step. Links in the description. See you in there.